played on table 2 this afternoon. Selby won 3-0.
Well, a very rare bad safety shot from Mark Selby. They don't come around very often. And Jack duly obliges and pots the red, so very uncharacteristic for Mark Selby to play a loose safety shot, but sent that red up and down the table right near that corner pocket. Provided inroads for Jack Jones, and he takes the chance, so chance to get to business in amongst the reds. Can he get back down this business end and open things up? The red beneath the pink will pot to this right corner pocket.
3.
Just looking at as to whether he can leave his cue ball high on the black, and beyond that, he'd like to get rid of those 3 reds above it at some point, just to really open things up.
Four.
He's played some terrific snooker himself, Jack Jones, in this event. Been a sort of almost like a routine every day. Comes to the venue, plays his matches, and has been very consistent in terms of the level he's produced. He seems comfortable, you know, in this company. Obviously, he's been in the World Final, but
10.
Even though this season hasn't been as successful as you would have hoped, things may be just turning around in the new year.
11.
As I've said already this week, he wants to get in the 16 for the Crucible so that he's seeded rather than having to try and come to the qualifiers.
$18.
And 11 centuries in the league, so on the 6 days, 11 century breaks. Taking his tally for the season to 30, which is 12 more than he had the whole of last season.
$19.
That was a very clever shot that he played there. He knew that the black passed this red to the right corner pocket, so took the chance to bring more reds into play, expecting to be on that black screwing off the pack, and played it to perfection. So very early good signs for Jack Jones, staying positive, and that's what he's got to do against Mark Selby. He's got to stay positive and stay aggressive if he can. He doesn't want to be trying to compete with Mark Selby in the tactical department. That's just a recipe for disaster. We saw Chris Wakelin try that in one frame earlier on. Had Mark Selby nailed him behind the blue, tight on the baulk cushion. 2 shots later, he was plumbing amongst them. He just finds a way, Mark Selby. Jack needs to do this, get in early and score 34. Heavy.
Yeah, just keep him away from the table, basically. Do the business when you get the chance. He can't affect you from his seat.
35.
That noise was, I think Ali Carter just dropped one of the rests. Not deliberately, it wasn't... we've had a few incidents today, but that wasn't anything untoward.
40. $41.
Just played a little holding cannon there, knowing that he had reds available to the right middle pocket.
47.
Love to be on the top one of those three.
Extended rest.
Yes.
Well, asking John Pellew to provide him with the extended rest, so he's taking the more difficult red to right corner. Cue ball round the back of the black. Probably back up for pink or blue. But he's overcut it, so it made the difference. That little
Just
shot
short,
that he played from the
47.
pink into the middle pocket just didn't quite judge the cannon correctly and just asked himself the question there, Jack. Should still have knocked that red in, though. He'll be disappointed.
Okay.
And this is what he's got to avoid in this match, Jack Jones, getting ahead and then giving Mark Selby a glimmer of a hope, because sometimes that's all he needs, just a half chance to get in, and he will be clinical, and he will punish you. It's just what he does.
One.
Back in. Red near the right corner. After the brown. 48 in front, 52 with the brown.
Five. Six.
Just potted that red a little thick, so didn't get the cue ball out as far as he would have liked. This pink to middle is, well, not a very inviting shot, but it's one that he has to take on. He's got to stay positive, Jack. Just float the pink in, the reds beneath it will pop. Played it well, played it with confidence, that's a good sign.
12. $13.
Seems to come alive in these playoffs, doesn't he? Jack Jones looking to win his third semi-final in a row. This looks a good start against, let's be clear, the player of the group. Mark Selby's been absolutely superb. He's only lost 3 frames, but
19.
this could be a 4th coming up. Jones just needs the red.
20.
And this will make him feel really good because, okay, it's taken 2 bites at the cherry, but as you say, Mark has been so dominant in this group. It's kind of been a case of, can anyone take a frame off of him? Jack wasn't able to do that in his match earlier against Mark Selby, but he's made the perfect start here.
26.
He has such a calm way about him, Jack Jones. And obviously at the Crucible where he got to the final last year, that's such a plus if you can stay in that mindset for 17 days. The match with Karen Wilson, actually, they've just played on table 2. That was their first meeting since the World Final. Maybe another one, maybe tonight in the final here.
$34.
Apart from winning the frame, which is obviously the main thing, kept Selby cold here. Karen Wilson has won the first against Ali Carter on table 2. His match is best of 5.
42. $49. 50. $57. 59. 62.
I suppose one good thing for Jack Jones is that he's been here for so long, these probably just start to feel like practice matches. The pressure, no doubt, has eased over the days 66. That he's been here, accumulating prize money all the while, playing so much snooker. It probably just feels like a practice session to him now.
Yeah, and in the back of his mind, he must be thinking, well, worst case scenario, I'll just come back again tomorrow and go again. You know, I mean, it's a handy event for a player who won't be in the Masters, actually. We talk about good practice for next week, but actually,
77.
If you're not in some of these big tournaments, these events are like lifelines. That's a terrific frame of snooker from Jack Jones. He did go wrong initially, but got back in pretty quickly. If he were to lose this match, he would, of course, be eligible to come back tomorrow for Group 4.
It was the perfect start for Jack Jones, really. Not only did he win that frame to 0, but he kept Mark Selby in his seat for the majority of it, so couldn't have hoped for a better start. But it's not always about how you start, it's how you finish in these matches, and they're very short sprints still, best of 5, so he needs to try and maintain that level.
Foul. 4. Jack Jones.
Well, have we found another curse in snooker? The curse of the winning the group, because suddenly things are going wrong for Selby that were not happening in the round robin section.
Foul.
And that was a really nice strike from Jack. A red that he would have expected to knock in. That type of shot the players practice day in, day out. Oh, an absolute gift of a chance handed to Jack Jones. Okay, the red mark attempted, it was not straightforward, and the fact that he was trying to thread the cue ball through the pack of reds and back out for a colour, he was playing with very fine margin there. It looked a lot worse than it was, the fact that the cue ball went in. But regardless, Jack won't mind that one bit. If he's low enough on this black, he could go into the pack of reds, try and bring more into play, knowing that he'll be on that one loose red. It's certainly the shot that most would play. Well, he didn't fancy it, and that surprises me. Seemed like a
16.
A guaranteed shot to bring more reds into play, with that one red being at the back of the pack.
17.
Be interesting to see how he goes about this now. Well, he decided to do it that time from the black, which was a much more difficult shot. Okay, he's on a red, but he wasn't
24.
guaranteed there. The shot prior, he was guaranteed. Maybe he knew something we didn't.
$25. $30.
Well, it's turning into a bit of a one-man show. I mean, it's still only frame 2, but Selby will be getting a bit concerned.
$31.
Yeah, but to be fair, Jack has taken the game to Mark Selby here. Okay, the in-off in this frame certainly helped Jack's cause, but you've still got to stand up and take your chance when it comes. And he's looked really sharp, which is a great sign. And why wouldn't you be? He's played so much snooker, we keep saying, but he really has. And
38.
I really do believe that the fact that he has played so much and he's been here for so long, it won't feel any different to him now. If anything, it will be a lot easier for Jack, feeling like he's just playing a practice game.
39.
He's probably got into the mindset, Jack, that the fact he has featured in every group so far, that if he doesn't get through one group, it maybe feels like he's guaranteed to come back for the next. And the signs are good for Jack Jones. There's been a number of times today where the balls
46.
have run favourably for him, and here's another example.
Ooh, but just as it looked like he'd done the hard work,
46.
he misses that. Well, that could be big. 50-0. You know, he had the balls where he wanted them. But he's back in his seat.
The last thing he wanted to do was provide Selby with a gift of an opportunity. He's barely seen anything in this match so far, Mark, and comes to the table from this misread.
Yeah, and the thing with Selby, you kind of always know he's ready to take a chance. We'll see whether he does, but he's always focused in that chair. He's not a player who sort of is looking around the arena or his mind's wandering. He's focused on what his opponent's doing, and he's ready if the chance comes.
7.
We were reminiscing over dinner, weren't we, about Willie Thorne's in Leicester, where he learnt his trade under Malcolm Thorne's guidance. Willie's brother ran the club, ran the junior events, looked after everybody. created an environment for
14.
young hopefuls to not just play snooker, but play competitive snooker in tournaments and learn about that side of things.
15.
I think any player from England, that there's a lot of generations as well that would fall into this category, has certainly been through those doors of Willie Thorne's club at some point. It played such a massive role in the early development of a lot of these players. Such
22.
great tournaments as well. You don't really see tournaments like them nowadays. Okay, there's a number of clubs. The Northern Snooker Centre in Leeds springs to mind initially, that
23.
still try and host Pro-Am tournaments, and they're very successful with them, but the numbers they used to get at Willie's and the calibre of player, you couldn't not get better by entering those tournaments. They were brilliant.
Yeah, it's where Mark first met Sean Murphy, you know,
30.
same age, two boys starting out with dreams of stardom. Both became world champions.
31.
But not just the best players, but there were so many characters about. You know, you'd walk through the door and there'd be people from all walks of life, but everyone was there to play snooker, and you knew that it was going to be a long day. There was a chance to earn some money, but it was just a great community feel to it.
I think that's one of the things that's changed. You know, the academies are very professional, but they're about playing snooker. No one goes in them to play the fruit
36.
machines and have a pint. You know, it's just a different environment. It's more professional, maybe. But you're right, you would see a side of life in the old snooker clubs that maybe was a bit of an eye-opener.
You're absolutely right. Those academies, they're great for what they are, and they are what they are. You know, they're professional environments, and the players, you know, are obviously playing on professional conditions. They replicate that well, but I think the players nowadays, that particularly the young players coming through, they're quite soft. And I mean that with the utmost respect, but they
37.
are. They've not been hardened in those environments, and that's just how it was back then.
Well, clearly the red close to the right-hand side cushion is the key ball now in this frame.
I think Mark will have one eye on that red as
42.
an opportunity to possibly play a double. We saw him yesterday take a very audacious treble on,
43.
and he certainly played the treble, I've got no doubt about it. So that doesn't look too much of a difficult shot for Mark. He may leave himself an angle to try and promote it, but I think he'll be attempting the double.
$48.
Just had a little glance at the green. He could leave himself just low of it. Try and screw down into that red. He's got options here, Mark, but it is all about that last red.
49. $52.
Well, on another day, he lands on the red, and it's possible, but the frame in the balance for 2 points in it. And he just knew you're looking to put Jack Jones in trouble.
Mark Selby, 52.
Played the shot from the green very well. It was almost a delayed screw down the table into the red. Timed it to perfection, just a little unfortunate not to land.
One each, Karen Wilson and Ali Carter on table 2. Jones knows he's got to get this safe, because nothing else is. problem is Selby is so good at just controlling exchanges like this, finding trouble spots.
Now, can Mark send the red between the yellow and brown and get distance between cue ball and object ball, possibly get in behind the yellow or brown as well? Well, he couldn't get distance, but he could lay the snooker. Again, he never tries to be too clever with those situations, Mark Selby. He really does assess the table and weigh up the value. He could have tried to do too much with that shot. Instead, took his medicine, got the snooker, and now Jack has to hit this and get it safe. He's hit it, and he's got it safe. Looks quite a big target, that pink and blue ball in the middle of the table, to try and lay a bit of a diagonal snooker, but may bring in the risk of leaving the red near the corner pocket. Well, this is certainly a tempter for Jack Jones. Such a big shot to take on. He glances round at the scoreboard, barely anything in this frame. It's pretty much a red ball frame, you feel. Is now the chance, or is now the time to attack? Looks as if he's going to attempt this red. Oh, brilliant. What a pot that was from Jack. Under the circumstances, that was a brilliant piece of cueing.
Superb. They'd not have struck this more sweetly.
1.
But it only counts for something if he takes this chance, and now surely he's got the balls at his mercy here to take a 2-0 lead.
3.
He will need the blue, which means that brown to blue is clearly going to be the key shot.
5.
Well, I think from what we've seen today, this would be a huge upset. But he's played good stuff, and he looks good for it here, Jack Jones. Looks up for it.
Eight.
He needs brown and blue, so this is the shot now to get on this blue. What a week it's been, the maximum, of course. Been in 2 finals already. And he's a frame away from
17.
reaching a third. The frame was in the balance. When it came down to the last red, you sort of fancied Selby with his mastery of the tactical side of the game. Jack Jones, though, potted a perler of a last red. Here, it's 2-0 to Jack Jones.
Got to try and keep that level high, Jack. Try and play out this match how he started it. He's been very positive and he's attacked from the off, which is a good sign. He's not gone into his shell and tried to Mark Selby. Now, where's this red going to finish? Well, it's okay because he's got an exceptional cue ball as per. It was edging very close to that right corner pocket. May have presented a chance for Jack, but as it happens, a pretty decent shot. Now it's Jack's turn to try and play a good return. And he isn't able to find one, so first chance in this third frame falls to the Jester. But okay, the pot on the red to the middle, not the issue, it's how does he get on his colour?
One.
Well, if the pink pots to right corner, he's absolutely fine here, Mark. Probably look to leave himself a high angle on the red just above the black. That way he can pot the red and try and move the red away from the black. He'd like to play that. That would really open things up.
Seven, thank you. Eight.
Oh, how well has he struck that to get where he has done from where he was. With such a long bridge over the cushion there, he struck that so sweetly.
$13. $14.
Now he's screwed up nice enough to be on one of these baulk colours, nice to get into the pack of reds. It's a shot that he plays so very well from the side cushion, generates so much pace going through the reds. Well, I'm gobsmacked.
$18.
Can't believe he's missed the target completely.
Yeah, things just not happening for Selby in this match. They are happening for Kyron Wilson on table 2. He's just gone 2-1 up against Ali Carter.
Mark Selby, 18.
Just 18 scored then. This is someone who's had 7 centuries. Should have had an 8th, really. He had that 91 in the previous match against Chris Wakelin. And so for 2 days play, short matches, seriously impressive.
Jack just needs to be very mindful in playing off the pack of reds here, that he doesn't push anything over the right corner pocket. He's spent a good while studying these reds. Does he feel like one of them will plank close to this right corner? Well, he could see the loose red, so it made no odds.
1.
And this time it's Jack's turn to land perfect on a bought colour to get into that pack. He spent a long while looking at the reds. I'm not really too sure what he was looking at. Possibly feels like one may go close to this right corner, and if he does feel that, he needs to be careful off this shot.
Foul.
Well, he was onto something.
1. Jack Jones. 4. Mark Selby.
It's one of them where he spent so long looking at it, I think he thought that that would go close.
Foul.
Probably didn't expect it to go in. But he's pretty much made a plant there, Jack. And it doesn't benefit him.
Foul. And a miss. 4. Mark Selby. Okay.
The lilting tones of John Pellew, the referee. Stalwart of the Championship League. Calling the miss and now replacing the cue ball.
You check that for me, please, Jack. Yeah, Mark, thank you.
Slight adjustment made and played a good shot here. Excellent, in fact. Little tap on the table from the master himself, Mark Selby. Tells you it was a terrific shot.
Thank you.
And now he's missed.
Foul and a miss. 4. Jack Jones.
He was always going to have that replaced, Jack. That speculative plant to left corner, well, there's far too much distance between those reds, and it needed making.
And look at the chalk mark as well.
I don't think I could hit this side, John, could I?
I don't really. You could just trim that one, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think Mark's right here. He couldn't see the far edge left red as we look. The yellow was covering that. He was clearly trying to catch the thin edge down the right side.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, it just seems everything's going wrong for Selby in this match. He's chipped the red towards the corner pocket.
Yeah, and I think in the back of Mark's mind, that was why he tapped the table for the previous shot from Jack, because the shot that Mark was attempting, it always seemed like there was a chance to push that red over left corner, and I think Mark knew it too. He didn't have all that many options elsewhere though, so maybe he took a gamble. Slightly different contact on the red, and it could have been a completely different result. But he'd be delighted to see that Jack Jones has only made one from that chance.
Jack Jones, 1. Foul.
You were saying, Dave?
7. Jack Jones.
It's the curse. It's the new curse. I'm telling you. We were talking to Karen, weren't we, upstairs about the Crucible curse, of course, which he's got to look forward to. But Championship League players who win the group, for some reason now, seem to have a bit of a shocker in the semis. Players who top the group, I should say, of course, to the round robin section. Selby won all of his matches.
I suppose the law of averages over a best of 5 would suggest that you're bound to lose one at some point, but the way he's played today, Mark Selby, it seemed very unlikely that that would happen. But he hasn't played to the level that he's shown yet in this match, and Jack Jones has been able to capitalise on that. This frame is very much in the balance though. Oh, what a strike. How well has he hit that? And look where the cue ball's come to rest. He deserves so much more from that, Jack Jones.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been the beginning of the end, actually, had he gotten a colour.
He's got a really cute one here, Jack. If he just tickles into the blue, it'll leave Mark really awkward. Oh, he's played it to perfection.
Jack Jones, 1.
Well, a crucial little exchange coming up. Jones potentially just looking for one more scoring visit to get this one. We know Mark Selby's going to dig in as much as he can.
No attempt at the pot there from Mark. He had to catch that thin enough to get around the back of the black. Had he have attempted the pot, he would have definitely gone into the black, so played that on the thin side purposely.
It's very nearly evil. Still
Good job,
giving
yeah.
him something to think about.
Yeah, because he's cut off the right side. Can Jack play off the red just beneath the pink spot and try and swing the cue ball around, maybe with a bit of left-hand side on the white to try and widen it? I think that's what he's trying. He has done. He's caught the other red and he's potted the red unintentionally. What a fluke that could be. Okay, he may not be on a colour here, but he can get Mark in trouble. That cue ball has just ran on a touch to make it difficult for Jack to actually reach this shot. Had it pulled up a ball to the left, Mark would be nailed in behind the yellow. I'm not sure Jack can play that shot. I suppose he could just drop onto the top of the yellow, which would leave it very awkward for Mark Selby. Can he get in behind that yellow? It's a big stretch.
Jack Torrance, 1.
Turning the screw. Mark Selby, so often the man doing that. But in trouble here, 2-0 down. It's only best of 5. Cannot afford to leave a chance. Jones in a very determined mood tonight. Really played very well in all areas.
The red he wants to hit is the red closest to the left corner pocket, but how does he get there? Can he come 2 cushions across and just nestle up to it? That's what he's looking at. Need to go right side cushion, left side cushion, drop onto that
Yes,
red.
thank you.
All about pace, this. He won't be far off the line. Looks a pretty good line to me, and it looks a very good pace as well. That's a brilliant shot. Sometimes it just seems pointless playing that type of shot that Jack did. I know that he could do nothing else, but I think deep down he knew that Selby was going to get out of that instantly and leave nothing. He's so good at finding escape routes, Mark.
Meanwhile, table 2, Ali Carter close to making it 2 each with Karen Wilson. We can just show you that table. Just potted a red there actually to lead by 60 with 59 on, but this pink you feel would make sure of the frame. So looking like a decider there. Very hard one to call right from the off, but 2 players with a lot of experience. Full stop, but also in this Championship League they're both winners of it, and that's 2-2.
Foul.
Oh, well, it might not have been so bad had that
Mark Selby.
cue ball hung on, but now it's gone in. It has given Selby an opening. Already 15 points in front.
One.
All the reds on this table are potable. Mark just trying to find the best way to approach this break. Just working out the pattern in which he wants to take the reds.
6.
Not on this red as intended, although still potable, of course. Shouldn't be an issue. Yeah, that's
7.
very nicely played and very nicely held. The red just above the black, I think, will pop to the left corner, which will release the other one to the right corner. So there's not really too many problem balls on this table for Mark. In fact, he may
12.
can pop this red now and just play a little holding cannon to the red right of the black spot. That just completely opens things up.
13.
And now he's away.
Yeah, I mean, for sheer resilience, you just cannot get better than Selby, really.
21.
Just digging in, competing, finding a way. And okay, it was an in-off in the end from Jack Jones, but Selby won the little safety battle, forced an error. And then, as I said earlier, he's just ready to then take control. This red and Jack Jones
28.
needs a snooker.
$29.
So this match far from done. Selby dominating the round robin, made a slow start to the knockout, but he's not out yet.
$36. $37. $44. $45. $47. $49. Again. 52.
Doing that thing that Stephen Hendry would always do, and that's just pot all the balls long after
56.
the frame over, not playing showy shots, just making his opponent watch him potting balls.
$61.
You know, there's been times in this event where the player at the table looks to the other one and says, you know, is that enough? Mark Selby's not going to do that.
$67.
So, very interesting match, and we've got at least one more frame. Mark Selby has arrived. He was patient, and when the chance came, he was ready to take it. A 74 clearance from the
Mark
four
Selby.
times world champion, the defending champion here at the Championship League. He trails 2-1. It's just such a different feel when it goes knockout, because it is what they're used to. You know, you win, you go through, you lose, you go out. There's no second chances or relying on other results.
And Selby's just possibly planted a little seed of doubt in Jack Jones's mind, which sometimes can be all it takes for the great man to make a comeback. I think any player knows, regardless of how far you are in front against a player like Mark Selby, you never feel comfortable out there. He always feels like he's got you under control at all times. Of course, it's up to you to try and win the match. Well, they look at trying to send this red down the cushion, possibly go close to the pot. As long as you get close, it will jaw and stay down this end of the table. But he hasn't got the cue ball into balk, so... And on table for Jack Jones, he's got reds that will be tempting him into taking something on here. The red far left of the table is probably the one he's going to attempt. Now he's knocked in some brilliant long balls already in this match. Can he find another? Not this time.
Karen Wilson 43-0 up in the balls on table 2 in that decider after Carter missed that red to middle. Is it going to be a repeat of the World Final? Wilson v Jones here in Group 3. Of course, they played earlier this evening. Wilson won 3-1.
Jack in all sorts of trouble here. Can't get to anything down the left side of the table, and look at all the obstacles down the right side. The reds are spread far and wide.
Well, what an edge he got there of that red. That was just about a perfect shot, really. Meantime, Karen Wilson close here now to victory, 58-0. So 64 with this blue, and he would need the red in bulk, and Carter needs snookers. There was that standoff, we saw it at the start, and Carter did attempt the red to left middle but didn't get it. And Karen Wilson, barring snookers, is the first man into the Group 3 final. Because he's already won 2 titles in his season as world champion, the Xi'an Grand Prix in China and the Northern Ireland Open. Big Jug Trump both of those finals. And it'll be for him, Mark Selby or Jack Jones later this evening.
One.
Played that pot with plenty of pace, just trusting to luck really in terms of where the cue ball was going to finish up. And as it happens, he's on nothing, Jack Jones, so having to find an area in baulk to try and put Mark Selby in trouble. The reds are spread far and wide here.
Wrong ball.
Okay, the black is out of commission, so maybe isn't the most straightforward scoring chance, but if someone can get in, they could have a field day.
Jack Jones, 1.
Wow, what a shot that was from Jack. Struck it too well. Corner to corner. Just about crept in off the left jaw, but doesn't matter how they go in as long as they do, and got a chance at this yellow to middle. Cue ball travelled far enough into baulk that it's a chance to get back down the table in amongst them. Well, he has knocked in some long balls in this game, Jack Jones, and always a good sign.
Three.
So Jack Jones looking to reach his third final. Is this the night he finally wins a group? His partner is heavily pregnant. She's been here with him the whole time, sitting up in the players' room. Might possibly be able to go home after tonight if he can get into the winners group.
9. Ten. $16. $17.
Well, it's a great chance, this, to get the match won here and now for Jack Jones. As long as he can keep good control of his cue ball, that really is imperative for this visit, because, okay, the reds are spread far and wide, but it's how he gets on his colour next that's important. He needs to keep leaving himself the right angles to make the positional shots as easy as possible.
23.
No doubt there'll be a few nerves in there. Chance to land a big scalp over Mark Selby.
24.
That sort of chance doesn't come around every day.
No, and bearing in mind how well Selby's played in this group, it would be a real morale-boosting win going into the final. Where he would have to replicate this performance, of course, against another of the game's hard men,
30.
Karen Wilson.
Again, like there, he didn't play for this red that he's going to go for. He played for the one closest to the pink, but just left himself hampered.
31.
If he can knock this pink in and get nicely on his next red, then it's crisis averted. Even this type of shot, these pink to middles, under pressure they can be missed. And just look at his cue ball again, just fractionally runs on, which makes the next shot more difficult. The
37.
positional errors, they just compound. And with a chance like this, when you have to be so accurate in terms of where you leave your white, because everything's such close control, that extra roll of the cue ball makes a massive difference.
Yeah, I mean, in TV tournaments we get sort of caught up sometimes in stats and, you know, pot success and so on, but every pot is different, and if you don't control position as intended, they get more difficult than they should be, and it's more difficult to continue breaks. So keeping tight control of the cue ball is absolutely the important thing.
$38.
Like that. That couldn't have finished any better, could it? Well, a little kiss on the red. Amazing.
Yeah, brilliant. It's worked out to perfection there for Jack Jones. So he's edging closer now to the winning line. And that... well, those couple of little
44.
positional errors he's just made may just focus his mind a touch more here. Doesn't want to make the same
45.
mistake again. He's got a clear run to the winning line here. What a performance this has been from Jack. First two frames were immaculate, really. And then when you start to see Mark Selby coming back at you, no doubt a little bit of doubt would have crept into his mind, but he stayed positive again.
$51. $52.
So 2 more pots to get to the snooker's required stage and to win through to his third final in the last week here at the Championship League. He's in exalted company, isn't he, in this event, but thoroughly deserves his place, Jack Jones. No one can deny that after he appeared in the biggest match in our game.
58.
And it looks like he's going to play the man who beat him there, Kyron Wilson. That's the winning ball.
59.
Mark Selby has been superb in this group. He won all of his matches in the round robin section. He made 7 centuries. But Jack Jones has taken the game to him, and in all departments here has been very strong. Selby comes back tomorrow, though, for Group 4.
65. $66.
Well, he's become part of the furniture here at Championship League, hasn't he, since it started last Friday. He's still here, Jack Jones. We can't get rid of him yet, but could tonight be the night? If not, we may as well stitch his name into that
72.
seat.
$73.
He'll be really pleased with how he's played here. He's really taken the game to Mark
79.
Selby, particularly after the match earlier on, which he lost 3-0. No doubt there would have been little negative thoughts in the back of his mind that he would have been trying to ignore, but as I say, he's stayed so positive, he's stayed aggressive, and that's what you get. That's the reward for doing that. This is a big win for Jack.
85.
Yeah, what an impressive finish. He's had 11 centuries
86.
in the Championship League in the 6 days he's been here. Could this be number 12 to take him into the final on a high?
$88. $90.
Form Selby was in. Jones knew he would have to produce something special, and he has done.
$93.
Brown stays out, but a fine 93 to complete victory. So
Jones.
Jack Jones beats Mark Selby,
Thank you,
the
Mark.
table topper,
Thank you, Mark.
by 3 frames to 1, and he advances into the Group 3 final of the Bet Victor Championship League, and he'll take on the man who beat him in the World Championship final last year, Kyron Wilson.